One day you are going to feel so excited and like you're on top of the world, and the next day you are going to feel like a complete failure and really just wonder why you even started this to begin with. Hi there, my name is Halima and I am the founder of the Floral Guru, and this channel is dedicated to helping you make money, save money, and grow your business. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, consider hitting the subscribe button. And I'm really excited to make this video because entrepreneurship can be a roller coaster ride. You know, there's no other way to say it. One day you are going to feel so excited and like you're on top of the world, and the next day you are going to feel like a complete failure and really just wonder why you even started this to begin with. But despite the ups and downs, if you can stick through it, starting a business is going to be one of the most transformational experiences of your life. At least that has been my experience. If you're in the event world like me, you'll want to make sure you stay to the very end, where I talk about how much money I think you need to invest in a business like mine in the event decor world. First thing that I wish I knew before starting my business is that good marketing can make all the difference. And I know that this might be a little bit controversial, but I genuinely believe that you can have the best products, the best service, you can be the smartest person in the world, but if you don't have good marketing, I don't know, sis. I don't know how it's gonna work out for you. And so over the past 3 years, I've become literally obsessed with marketing, learning everything that I can from the very best in marketing. Amy Porterfield, Donald Miller. There are so many people out there who are just experts in this field. And I think that this has been one of the top 3 things that has made a difference for me. Taking marketing seriously and really holding on to this idea that people love to buy, but they hate being sold to. That's kind of been my mantra around marketing. To me, good marketing is when you can get to a point where people are excited to actually give you their money versus feeling like they're being pushed to buy something that they don't want. So if you are afraid of marketing, I would really encourage you to start to follow someone who teaches marketing in a way that is digestible for you. The second thing I wish I knew before starting my business is just how difficult it would be to hire great people. Now, if you are in this place where you are trying to build your team, you know exactly what I mean. You know, when I started hiring for my team, I would just post a job out there and kind of cross my fingers and hope that the right person would find it. I was taking a very passive approach to hiring. And what changed for me is when I started to take a look at what the bigger companies were doing. So what you'll notice is that big companies do not take a passive approach to hiring. They are on LinkedIn. They are reaching out to people who already have jobs. And that's when the light bulb clicked for me, that great people already have a job. And so if you want great people, if you want a superstar on your team, you actively have to pursue them. And when I started actively pursuing people and reaching out to people proactively that I felt would be a good fit for my team, that's when I started hiring the best people on my team. And so I'm so happy that I made that transition. The third thing that I wish I knew about business before getting started is that being a solo founder can be really, really lonely, and it can actually start to have an impact on your mental health. And it's interesting because before starting my business, I was never someone who struggled with anxiety, but as my business grew and the more successful we got, I got to a point where the night before a big wedding or an event, I could barely sleep because I would just be so stressed out about every little detail and wanting everything to be perfect and wanting everything to be just as I imagined. And what helped me get through this anxiety is just really starting to listen to stories from other founders to remind me that my failures were not just mine alone. You know, when you are the solo founder of a company, everything is on your shoulders. Payroll is on your shoulder. Every angry customer is your problem. Every failure is yours. And it can just be a lot, you know? But when I started to listen to other people's stories and what they had gone through and all of the challenges that they had to overcome, it really gave me a lot of hope that my journey was not different from a lot of other people's, and a temporary failure was just that, a temporary failure. And that's part of why I wanted to make this video, is to kind of bust this myth around overnight success. If you follow me on Instagram, I know a lot of people tell me how surprised they are that my company has kind of bust on the scene fairly quickly, and it seems like we've been so successful very quickly. And you know, behind all of that success, there is a lot of late nights, a lot of tears, and a lot of money, which leads me to the fourth thing that I wish I knew before getting into business, that having a little money in the bank to help fund your business is really helpful in the beginning. money. And again, I think that this might be a little bit controversial because there will be people out there who will tell you that you don't need money to start a business. But for my type of business, which is in the event decor world, I do think that you need to have money to get started and to have the type of growth that I had. In the beginning, people just like to categorize you. And once you get categorized as a budget event designer, it is really hard to climb out of that. I didn't want to do that climb. Fortunately, I did have money saved and I was in a position to do this. And so if you are in a similar position, I would encourage you to figure out what sum of money feels comfortable for you. I'm not saying you have to put in as much money as I did. I wanted to grow a company really, really fast. I had a specific goal that I had within 5 years. And so this is what worked for me, but definitely do whatever works for you. So for me, I invested a little over $30,000 in my business, which I know is a huge sum of money. It was a huge sum of money for me. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because I think, again, sometimes people look at my brand and they think that, wow, how did she do all of this overnight? And it wasn't overnight. It was years of working, and it was also a good amount of money. So even in the beginning, my work was reflective of the type of brand I wanted to build in the long run. Now, I know that again, this is a huge amount of money, and so if you don't have this type of money, it's not that that's the only option. You can definitely be successful in the event world without having that money, but I do think that it's going to take you a little bit longer. Now, as your business grows, you definitely do not want to keep investing your own money. No, your business needs to be self-sufficient. But I do think that in the beginning, it is very, very helpful to have money that you can invest in really making the best long-term decisions for your brand. Really quickly, before I tell you the fifth and final thing that I wish I knew before starting my business, if you are finding this video helpful at all, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you can get more helpful content like this. The fifth and final thing that I wish I knew before starting a business is a lack of focus will kill your business. And I know that this sounds like a Captain Obvious tip, but at the same time, you would be surprised by how many founders fall victim to shiny object syndrome. And if you aren't familiar with shiny object syndrome, it is a popular term in the business world that describes somebody who is constantly distracted by shiny new objects. And that can mean new projects, new ideas, new revenue streams. And instead of just focusing in on what they currently have going on, they're just constantly chasing something new. As much as we hear about shiny object syndrome, it's so easy to fall victim to it. As your business grows, you are going to get more and more opportunities. At least that's what happened to me. Unless you have a clear focus and a clear vision for your business and you define and write down what's important, it is so easy to start doing things that don't really make sense for you in the long term. I hope that all of these tips were helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.